Tonight's main headlines. Dozens of Palestinians were martyred and wounded in continued aerial and artillery bombardment by the Israeli occupation forces on several areas of Gaza Strip. The United States, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom condemn Iran's accelerated uranium enrichment. And massive Russian attacks with drones and missiles on several Ukrainian regions caused many deaths and injuries. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. Clouds of smoke and flares covered the skyline of Gaza Strip today morning as Israeli occupation forces strike across the enclave, killed dozens of Palestinians. The war has already driven around 85% of Gaza's 2.3 million people from their homes, leveling the northern part of the territory and heightening fears about a similar fate for the south as Israel's air and ground offensive widens. More than 20,000 Palestinians, two-thirds of them women and children, have been killed since the start of the war, according to the health ministry in Gaza, which doesn't differentiate between civilians and combatants among the dead. Hamas had put up steep resistance despite Israel's vow to dismantle the group. About 1,200 people were killed after Hamas raided southern Israel on October 7th, with around 240 people taken hostage. Western powers yesterday condemned Iran's accelerating its production of highly enriched uranium after a watchdog said it had upped manufacture following months of shutdown. In a joint statement, Britain, France, Germany, and the US condemned this measure that further aggravates the continued escalation of the Iranian nuclear program, adding that Iran's production of highly enriched uranium has no credible civilian justification. The statement comes 2 days after the International Atomic Energy Agency released a report saying Iran's increased its production of highly enriched uranium, reversing a previous output reduction from mid-2023. Iran said the report contained nothing new. Russia unleashed its largest drone and missile attack on Ukraine in months today, killing 12 people and wounding at least 70 others in Kyiv, the south, west, and east of the country. Ukrainian officials said that dozens of people were wounded, with damage reported at maternity hospital in the central of Dnipro and buildings in the western city of Lviv, the southeastern part of Odessa, and the eastern city of Kharkiv. The officials said 2 people were confirmed dead in the capital Kyiv, with more people thought to be trapped under a rubble at a warehouse damaged by falling debris. They added that 2 were killed in the Black Sea port city of Odessa, and at least 15 others were injured as missiles hit residential buildings. Zambia stepped up a campaign to halt a surge in cholera cases yesterday as the number of deaths this year crept toward 100. With heavy rains speeding the spread of the bacterial disease, the health minister said 5 deaths and 111 new cases has been reported in the last 24 hours. The total number of cholera cases reached over 3,000 since the outbreak of the disease in January this year. The National Health Institute said there have now been at least 93 cholera deaths this year, mainly in an outbreak that started in October. The new cases were the highest daily total this year, underscoring worries over the disease that is mainly spread through contaminated food and water. The World Health Organization has expressed concern over the growing number of cholera cases around the world in recent years, with Africa bearing the brunt. It has said that the number of reported cholera cases more than doubled from 223,370 in 2021 to 472,697 cases in 2022. The 2023 global figure had already passed 580,000 by September, according to the UN agency. Shanghai residents woke up today to a thick blanket of fog covering China's financial hub to thick the city's major landmarks were almost invisible. Authorities issued a yellow alert after the fog in Shanghai and suspended some ferry routes temporarily. Some sections of highways as well as a bridge to the container port were temporarily closed. China's Central Meteorological Observatory issued a red alert for fog in the country, which is its first since 2017, and warned that heavy fog and haze would shroud areas from Hebei province in the north to southern Shanghai for more than 24 hours. Conditions were expected to improve from tomorrow evening, with a cloud of wave of air is expected to blow over the country. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Scouts and Guides Exhibition 2023 is on display at the Oman Across Ages Museum until the 30th of December. With the aim of enhancing environmental work and ensuring the sustainability of natural factors, a specialized workshop was held on the challenges and opportunities of the management of Jebel Samhan Nature Reserve in the Far Governorate. The workshop included a visual presentation on the management plan for the reserve given by the Environment Authority. The event witnessed the participation of the Royal Society for the Conservation of Nature from the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. The opening of the workshop was held under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Ali Al-Amri, Chairman of the Environment Authority. The Municipal Council of South Al-Batana Governorate held a meeting in which various development topics were discussed in the sectors of infrastructure, economy, youth, and the environment. The meeting also reviewed a package of projects that Oman Water and Wastewater Services Company will execute in several wilayas within the governorate in the fields of water and wastewater. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Masoud bin Saeed Al-Hashimi, Governor of South Al-Batana, Chairman of the Council. The Director General of Scouts and Guides organized the Scouts and Guides Exhibition 2023 at the Oman Across Ages Museum in the Wilaya of Manah in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate. More details in the following report.
At the iconic Oman Across Ages Museum in the Wilaya of Manah in Al-Dakhiliya Governorate, the Directorate General of Scouts and Guides organized a 3-day Scouts and Guides exhibition under the theme Ongoing Contribution, offering visitors a unique opportunity to delve into the rich history of the Scouts and Guides in the Sultanate of Oman.
The Oman Scouts and Guides exhibition, which has been hosted in this beautiful museum, they together serve as a beautiful bridge to connect the society with the achievements and the goals and the history of the Oman Scouts and Guides through also all the years back since 1932 until today. And we focus on how the Scouts started in Oman and how the government support the Scouts and its activities in all the parts of the country.
The exhibition showcased 42 captivating pictures that captured the legacy of the Scouts and Guides movement in the country. The pictures depicted the various competitions, programs, and initiatives held by the Scouts and Guides.
Oman Scouts and Guides exhibition actually has 42 pictures, and it shows the historical sequence of Oman Scouts and Guides during the time, starting from the recognition of Oman Scouts and Guides at the global level. And also it shows the event held by the Directorate, such as we have camps, we have adventure trips, we have some initiatives in cooperation with the community.
It is worth mentioning that the Sultanate of Oman had its first ever scout troop way back in 1932. reflecting the country's commitment to building a solid foundation for its youth and fostering a sense of leadership among them. The exhibition reflects the authentic and dedicated spirit of Scouts and Guides, who continuously undertake admirable roles in serving their community. From Oman Across Ages Museum in the Wilaya of Manah, صالح بخلفان الرحبي الداخلية Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here's a recap of our main points. Dozens of Palestinians were martyred and wounded in continued aerial and artillery bombardment by the Israeli occupation forces on several areas of Gaza Strip. The United States, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom condemn Iran's accelerated uranium enrichment. And massive Russian attacks with drones and missiles on several Ukrainian regions caused many deaths and injuries. With that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night, and until next time.